Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dakota's Political Circle. And today I want to talk about how the Senate officially passed the spending bill, which means officially the government is not going to be shutting down and it'll be sent to Biden to be signed. Now, remember, this is not the bill Trump wanted. Trump wanted a different bill. So there was a first bill that a lot of people hated. It was about like 1,200 pages. A lot of people hated it, other than for some odd reason, a lot of bipartisan support was around it. Trump didn't want it, Elon Musk didn't want it, and then it got shifted to another bill. Basically, Trump told all Republicans to deny it, so they decided to go with another bill. Trump suggested a certain bill, and basically Republicans denied that one as well. Republicans didn't want that one. So then they came to a third plan, which was another bill that had a lot of Democrat support, which is very odd, and a lot of Republican support, but also 39 Republicans voted no. So there was a little bit of an iffy situation with the third one because of stuff that was included. But the good thing is that, the government isn't going to get shut down, but at the same time, this bill is way better than what the first bill was, but it's still not a better bill than the second bill that Trump suggested, though. So that is really, really irritating. But I will read this article for you guys first and then explain a lot of stuff in the bill included. And remember, this was a bill. The third bill was not sponsored by Trump. Trump did not want this bill. He did not suggest it or sponsor it or anything. Joe Biden did. So that's the only thing that sucks there. But at the same time, there is some provisions and some stuff that did get added or that did get taken away that are good things that got taken away. So it's not a total loss, but it also sucks at the same time because there is certain things that didn't get added that we really, really wish that would have. But let's get into it. So the Senate early Saturday morning passed a bill to avert the government shutdown, sending the measure to President Joe Biden to be signed into law. The move after the House overwhelmingly passed the bill on Friday, the new spending plan that does not include President Trump's demand to suspend the debt limit. So basically, the one thing Trump really wanted was to suspend the debt limit. There was some other things in there that he also wanted that didn't get included, but the biggest thing was actually suspending the debt limit, and for some odd reason, they didn't want to include that. Probably because they had a lot of Republican backlash, I'm assuming. The legislation would extend current fiasco levels until mid-March. So basically, Trump will be fine until mid-March when Trump is in office to take care of a lot of stuff. And then it says to provide $110 billion in relief to help natural disaster survivors, aid farmers, and grant an extension for the Farm Bill, which must be reauthorized. So that's basically what happened, and it was 85 to 11 votes in the Senate. So basically, very overwhelmingly voted in. I don't think it really says. Here's what it basically totals to: 110 billion for disaster response, FEMA, agricultural, housing and urban development, EPA, small business, transportation, additional farm aid, and then also Social Security benefits for pension recipients as well. There will be 4 amendments, votes on the Social Security. Okay, this is about the Social Security thing, so I won't talk about that. But that's basically what ended up happening. And here's how Trump felt about it. So Trump was actually unhappy about the bill that actually got passed. So he was very unhappy about it because it doesn't include the debt ceiling. That's the one thing he really, really wanted. And I'm very surprised he didn't criticize many Republicans about it. Honestly, in a way, I think the reason being is he really wants to wait until he's in office to be able to demand Republicans certain things. It's probably not a good idea for him to demand stuff right at the moment. But I know that for a fact that if him having Elon Musk on his side is really going to help him because Elon Musk has a lot of money. And Elon Musk has said in the past, if certain things don't get passed, Elon Musk will send almost every single dollar he has to defeat every single Republican in their primary in the House the next time they run. So that's a big threat, but at the same time, it's really going to help Trump out in the end because of that big ally he has. But here's basically why it's a massive win at the same time. So it started out as 1,547 pages. It got cut to 120, so that's also really great. So there wasn't any little things in there that got put in. It got very, very minimal. So that's also a good thing. There's nothing sneaked in there. That's a great thing. No raise for members of Congress, so thank God Congress isn't going to get a raise and take more tax dollars for something they don't even need. No protections for January 6th, the January 6th committee, so the January 6th committee could get in trouble at some point because they don't have any protections. So that's also a good thing. Gives $20 billion for agricultural disasters. That's great. Gives a $10 billion in aid for farmers impacted by hurricanes. That's also great. And then just to show you right here, just to show you what key provisions were added and stuff, and also some other things as well, just to show you the difference between the bills. So the key provisions added were allocating $100 billion for disaster relief and agricultural subsidies. Security funding provides $25 million for the Marshal's Service and the Supreme Court. Notably, the bill does not address the debt ceiling, which I did talk about. That's the one thing that really, really sucks that it did not include. But the bill obviously passed the House, and it says now awaits Senate approval, but it already passed the Senate. There's also another thing I want to talk about. So this is how it compares to the last two, just to go in depth. So the third spending bill recently passed. Its key provisions is disaster relief aid, allocates $100 billion for disaster relief. The farm bill extension, you already talked about that one right there, addresses various issues including criminalization of deepfakes, regulating device. Actually, decriminalization actually did not get added. That was another one. I don't think that actually got added. Regulating device manufacturers, authorizing E15 fuel sales year-round, and then in comparison to the other bills. The first spending bill was extended. It would extend funding through January 19th, 2024. So it would only literally do it till the 19th. I think the reason they did that. I think that means 2025, not 2024. But I think the reason they wanted to do that in the first bill was to screw Trump over, because right when Trump takes office, he's going to have to do another one. So I think that's why they want to do another bill. And then the second bill, the one that Trump wanted, well, actually, primarily aimed at maintaining existing funding levels without significant additional allocations. The second bill, this was Trump's bill, it would have extended funding through March 8th, which that's actually a good decision. That would have been a good decision. But obviously, we also got March on this one, too, so that's also great as well. Similar to the first, focused on continuing existing funding with minimal additional provisions. The key difference is the third bill extends funding further to March 14th. And what's crazy is the first bill wanted to only extend it to January. That's crazy. Additional funding, unlike previous bills, it includes substantial allocations for disaster relief, agricultural aid, and security enhancements. Policy provisions incorporates various policy measures not present in the earlier bills, addressing issues like deepfake pornography and device regulations, but it doesn't outright ban it or anything. In summary, while the first two bills served as short-term extensions to maintain the government, the third will not only extend funding for longer periods, but also introduce significant additional funding and policy provisions to address current needs and concerns. And then I also asked, will it contain the border stuff? Because remember, the second bill had border stuff. The third bill recently passed does not include border security. That's also another thing I wanted to talk about. It does not include the border security. So that means you're not going to have the border security provisions in there, which really, really sucks, because that's a big Trump thing that we really, really need. But that did not get included, which really, really sucks. That did not get included in there. And then does it not include a debt ceiling, which I've already talked about. It does not include the debt ceiling. And then there was another thing I wanted to talk about here. It was another one. Okay, I was asking other stuff. Is the third one? Yeah, I was asking if the third one was better than the first. So the third is significantly more comprehensive and impactful compared to the first one. The key differences: extended duration. So yeah, the first bill, just like I talked about, it only would have extended to January, and this says 2024. That's wrong. I know ChatGPT really sucks with certain dates and stuff. So that's actually supposed to be 2025, but in the third bill, it was supposed to go to March. So the good thing is that's more stability for Trump. That's going to help Trump out, especially when he gets into office and he wants to get more bills out. So when it comes to this, at least he has until March to deal with this. And additional funding. The first bill primarily a stopgate measure to maintain existing funding with minimum new allocation. The third bill includes substantial funding for over $100 billion for disaster relief, so that's very, very helpful. It has security enhancements that I talked about as well. The policy provisions. The first bill lacked policy measures. The third bill would have criminalizing deepfake pornography. I don't know if that's completely accurate, because I know that in the first bill it had something that was specifically about that, but I'm really not sure. Then it says regulating device manufacturers, authorizing year-round sales of E15 fuel, addressing specific needs. The third bill would allocate resources to address urgent issues like disaster relief, while the first bill focused solely on preventing an immediate government shutdown. So the third bill helps out a lot with people that are in need with disaster relief. So this is really, really going to help those people out as well. So that's one great thing about this. And then why the third bill is better, it provides long-term funding, which I talked about. It addresses broader national priorities beyond just keeping the government open, so that's also a great thing. It offers a longer window for lawmakers to make comprehensive and solutions like immigration reform and debt ceiling, just like I talked about. In the summary, the third bill not only prevents a government shutdown, but also tackles key issues. That's the one reason I like this bill, but at the same time, it doesn't tackle them as well as I would like. The second bill that Trump suggested, which was perfect. It was a bill that would have helped border measures. It would have helped the debt ceiling. You would have got that all in one. And you would have also got it till March. So Trump would have been able to get other stuff through as well by the time he was president. So, I mean, that would have also really, really helped him out. But what sucks is they weren't able to do that. So we had to get this bill through, which I would say it's better than the first bill. It's definitely better than the first bill. But also I would say that it's not better than the second bill. So that's kind of how I feel about the third bill that got through. Now about the deep fake thing, I didn't really look into it too much. So I'm not sure if what I said was accurate or not because I didn't look into that one too much. But for everything else, I think the third bill was better than the first, but I don't think it was better than the second. But luckily, when Trump does get into office, he can do many, many things. I think a lot of Republicans will support the border measures, will support more border funding, and also many, many other things. So I don't have too much of an issue with that. But I do think it's really, really annoying that the Republicans didn't want to go through with the second one. And like over 38 Republicans didn't want to go through with the second one that Trump suggested. That's very, very worrying. But I'm hoping that they turn it around once Trump does become president. But I do think third bill is a good bill, but it's not going to be an amazing bill or anything like that. But that's how I feel about the third bill. But anyway, guys, I want to talk to you guys about this today since the government is not going to be shutting down. It got averted. So luckily it didn't get shut down, but at the same time, at what cost, you just never know. Like, that third bill is a little bit iffy to me, but I think it's better than the first bill, guaranteed. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to talk to you guys about that today. This is probably the last bill that Biden gets any credit for, I guess you could say. Even though technically Trump's the one that suggested the second bill, and then this one got pushed down for Trump technically. So I mean, I don't know. This is probably the last thing Biden gets credit for in his presidency. So that's about it. I can't wait for January to come soon enough. Once January 20th hits, you get Trump in the White House. You get all of his administration. And you get possibly, border security measures going through with border security bills going through, more funding for the border wall. Lots of fun things I can't wait to be talking about in the future with you guys. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, do you think we should have shut down the government? Or do you think we should have just let this bill go through anyway? Obviously, the decision's already been made, but I'm curious what you guys think in the comments. My next video will probably be the Trump cabinet picks video if he does select his last cabinet pick sometime soon, which I'm hoping he does. I'm assuming he will because he only needs one more cabinet pick to choose, and then I'll make my video. But not sure what I'll do after that, but anything that comes up, But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.